I'll show you how to send personalized emails with Zapier. It's the same thing you search for, and it's one workflow that will save you a ton of manual typing. Open your browser, go to Zapier.com and sign in. Wait for the dashboard to fully load. Now look at the upper left corner. Click Create, then choose Zaps. This opens the Zap editor. For this automation, the trigger is Google Forms and the action is Gmail. Click the trigger step. A search box appears, type in Google Forms, select it. On the event screen, pick New Form Response. That means this Zap fires every single time someone submits the chosen form. Click Continue. Now you need to connect your Google account. Click Choose an account. If yours isn't connected yet, Zapier will open a pop-up and walk you through the permissions. Once connected, select that account and hit Continue. Zapier can now pull in your forms. The form selection field opens. Open that drop-down and pick the existing Google form you want to use. I'm using one that collects name, email address, company, and a specific request. Select it, then click Continue. Now you'll test the trigger. Click Test Trigger and wait while Zapier grabs a recent submission. It brings back a sample response. Look through the fields on screen. This is where you confirm that the test response contains the actual data you'll need. I always make sure at least one record has every single field filled in, because if a field is blank in the test sample, Zapier won't show it in the mapping menu later. That one catches people off guard. Once you see the right fields, click Continue with selected record. Now the screen shifts. Hit the plus button right below the trigger step to add an action. Search for Gmail, choose it. For the event, select Send Email. Click Continue. Connect your Gmail account the same way. Click Choose an account, pick the one you want the emails to come from, and continue. Double check it's the correct account, because once this Zap is live, that's the sender identity every recipient sees. Next, the action fields load. The To field is at the top, and this is where most mistakes happen. Click inside the To field and then open the field mapping menu. Find your Google Forms trigger in that menu, and from there select the email address field, the one that holds the recipient's actual email. Do not grab a name field. I've seen people accidentally map the company name here and wonder why nothing delivers. The moment you select it, that field turns into a token like 1 email inside the box, which means Zapier will pull the real address from each form submission rather than sending to a fixed person. Move down to the subject field. This is where you blend static text with dynamic data. Type something like, your request has been received, and then without closing the field, open the mapping menu again, go to Google Forms and pick the field that holds the person's request topic or something identifiable. The subject line now shows fixed words in a mapped field. When the Zap runs, that placeholder gets replaced with whatever the person typed. Now the body, the big text area. Start with a greeting and hit Enter to give it some breathing room. I start with Hi, then open the mapping menu, pick the name field and close the menu. Right after that token, I type a comma and jump to a new line. So the first line in the editor reads, Hi 1, name, Am. This is the moment to build the rest of the message. Write a few static lines. Thanks for reaching out. We have your details here. Then a line break. Now I will map in more fields. Place the cursor where you want the first piece of info. Open the mapping menu, pick company. Then on the next line, map the request field, and so on. Each map field sits in its own line, with a short label before it in fixed text. Keep paragraphs short. A huge wall of automated text looks exactly like a robot sent it, which is the fastest way to get your email ignored. Spend an extra 20 seconds formatting. Add line breaks above and below the dynamic fields. Make sure your closing and signature are simple static text. I add something like, we'll get back to you within 1 business day. The static content keeps the message consistent, and the mapped fields make it personal. That combination is what works. Before testing, review every mapped field. Hover over the To field. Is it the email address field and not something else? Does the subject actually show your mapped field? Check the greeting. If you accidentally mapped the email address instead of the name, the email starts, Hi person at example. Gone.com, which is a dead giveaway that you automated it without looking. This is the step where you catch that. Now click Test Step. Zapier sends a live test email to the recipient in that sample response. Wait a few seconds, then open that inbox. The subject line should have the request text you mapped, and the body should show the person's actual name and details from the form. If you still see raw field tokens in the received email, something like 1, name instead of John, then something's off in the mapping, and you need to go back and reselect the fields. If the data is there, the personalization works. The way this actually works under the hood is simple. The form collects info, Zapier passes the selected fields from that response, and Gmail drops them into your template. The same email template adapts to every new submission automatically. Now before publishing, look at the top of the editor. The Zap has some default name like Untitled Zap. Click that and give it a clear name. Form to personalized email or whatever makes sense. I've run into the problem where 2 months later I have 12 untitled Zaps and I can't tell them apart. Naming it now takes 3 seconds and saves a headache later. Now do a final visual scan. Correct Google form, correct Gmail account, to mapping right, subject mapping right, body formatted. Everything checks out. Click Publish. The Zap is now live. But I don't trust a workflow until I've seen it run with new data. So open your Google form in another tab, the one you connected, and submit a test entry with real-looking information. Then come back to Zap History, which is in the left sidebar. Wait until the latest run completes. You should see the Google Forms received the response and Gmail sent the email. Open the generated email, confirm that the dynamic fields hold the info you just typed. That's the true end-to-end test. If a field you need ever doesn't show up in the mapping menu, here's the fix. Return to the trigger step, test it again, and select a sample response that actually contains data for that field. As soon as Zapier sees a non-blank value, the field appears in the menu. And if an email doesn't send, Zap History is the first place you look. It will show an error on the Gmail step, usually a bad connection, a missing to mapping, or an invalid email address. Fix that right there, then retest. The other thing worth knowing, you can map as many fields as you want from the trigger into the body. The process is always the same. Cursor, mapping menu, select field, keep writing. The static parts of the email hold the structure. The dynamic parts make it specific. That one template can handle hundreds of different people without you touching it again. Now before you close the tab, do me a favor. If this got your Zap working, hit the like button, subscribe so you catch the next one, and leave a comment saying it was helpful. Comments are what push this to other people looking for the exact same thing.